have a plot twist for you, and I'm really, really sorry to break it to you. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot, and I'm saying sorry in advance because if you're already on your spiritual journey, there might be something that you do that is actually having the opposite result of what you actually desire. You want to kill your ego. And you know what? The desire to kill your ego, to get rid of your ego, to get rid of the mind, to meditate your way into a transcendent state. This is your ego speaking. The more you try to transcend the mind, you deem it as something that is bad and that you need to get rid of. And there's one key emotion that is driving this behavior that you're overlooking. And through overlooking that, you keep on repeating and repeating childhood patterns that leave you in relationship problems, that leave you in a bad relationship to yourself, that leave you with money problems, with a sense of having no direction in life. You're bypassing important parts of yourself through meditating and through reaching a transcendent spiritual state. This is what we're going to get into in this video, and we're going to dismantle all of that and hopefully get you closer to a sense of integral, embodied, and truthful spirituality. Because in the end, I think you deserve it. I don't know if you deserve it. I don't know if you want to live a good life. I certainly want to. And the thing is, if you want to live a good life, that means you gotta look at the dark stuff. Actually, I believe that it's like your ability to look at the dark stuff, to look at the tensions in your body, to look at all these ego-driven patterns in your mind. Your ability to hold that is in the same proportion to you having a good life. The more you're able to look into the darkness, the more you're able to transcend into the light with a more embodied, grounded perspective. So this is not about transcending and losing our footing. This is about transcending and creating roots that reach deep down into the earth, even deep down to hell. And as Carl Jung said, you can't grow a tree towards heaven if your roots are not reaching down into hell. So what is this emotion that is driving the patterns that I just described, that you overlook and that wreak havoc on your life without you even knowing it? It is shame. And the thing is, with shame, it's kind of a tricky emotion because it's not an emotion necessarily. It's not something you necessarily feel in your body like anger or sadness or disgust, which are very clear somatic affects, energies that go through your body and that have a clear expression like screaming, tensing of the muscles or crying or puking or whatever. With shame, it's a bit different because shame is more a relational quality. It's a way of seeing, it's a way of relating that is embedded into us. And it's different from guilt. And I can describe what shame is really well when we take a look at guilt, because you feel guilty if you did something wrong. If you exhibited a behavior that then caused a negative consequence for someone else that you maybe liked, or for yourself that if you like yourself, you don't want negative consequences for yourself, and you feel guilty in consequence. Shame doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It's believing that you are wrong. It's a generalized belief about yourself that whatever you do, even the happiness within you, even the sadness within you, the anger within you, in all of that, you're fundamentally not okay the way you are. And what does someone do that feels like he's not okay the way he is? He's going to start getting rid of all the things he deems bad. If you meditate, this can be a tricky attempt of your ego to not feel something, to not think something, to not experience something that wants to be felt, that is deeply a part of you, but that you're ashamed of. You feel like if you carry this anger, if you carry this sadness, if you carry this anxiety around people, you're not good the way you are. And I'm here to tell you that a grounded sense of spirituality means including all of these things, not getting rid of them. It's not about getting rid of them. And the ego, or there's statements like the ego is the enemy. Can you sense this hostile, aggressive energy behind these words? And this is what I want you to look at. I want you to look at the energy that you do things with and that you say things in. So if you say, I need to get rid of my ego. Oh, that's like an ego statement. Oh, I'm so in my head. I'm such a strong ego today. It's like, take a look at yourself. The part that is saying you're too much in your head, that your ego is taking over, and what a fucking bad situation I created because of my ego. This is the ego, because there's an aggressiveness towards it. There's a distance, there's a lack of openness, a lack of love, and a lack of acceptance in that. And the ego is exactly that. The ego is dividing. The ego is not including. What's including is the no-mind state, the transcendental, non-dual state. In its essence, it is all including. But what the ego does, it's separating. And we're starting to judge our judgment. And this is the trick of the ego. You're judging someone, and instead of saying, okay, I just judged this person, it's human to judge people, and it's also super important for me, and maybe the behavior that this person put to the table is really shitty. Maybe it deserves a bad judgment. Maybe my judgment prompts me to stay away from that person. Instead of doing that and meeting the judgmental part within you with an open heart and look at it as if it is fundamentally good, not fundamentally flawed, because that would be the shame perspective of the ego. Instead of doing that, the ego says something like, I'm so judgmental today. Oh my God, I really should meditate more. I really should do more yoga in order to feel better in my body. And oh my God, I'm so not spiritual today. I should light some sage and sage my room. I think I need another breathwork session. I need to drink more ayahuasca to get rid of all these terrible thoughts that I'm thinking. Can you tell that even in that, there's inherently judgment? You're judging your judgment and you're calling it enlightening. And no enlightenment is true if it doesn't include all of the pain that you're carrying. So, you want to build a healthy relationship with your ego instead of transcending it. The more I did this work, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now, working with hundreds of clients, holding group containers, launching a training program where we teach people to hold space for others in an embodied and emotionally trauma-informed way. The more I do this work, the more I think it's not about getting rid of the ego. It first and foremost means to stabilize the ego, to build a healthy relationship with yourself. Because if we're honest, what the ego really is this automated chatter that is going on in your head that you more or less cannot control. It's like a flow of thoughts that is going through your head. It's there anyways. Your ego is there anyways. You cannot get rid of it. Even someone that is enlightened. I mean, I'm not enlightened myself, and there's certainly people who are so much in their body and so much in the present moment that they don't have any thoughts. But that doesn't mean they got rid of the ego. That means they got in touch with the awareness that is behind the ego. The ego can just exist. The ego can sort of do whatever it wants. The ego is just flowing anyways. It's going to chatter anyways. And what's the best thing you can do in order to meet that? It's of course opening your heart. And the thing is, the magical thing, and this is true especially in trauma healing, when we not reconstruct, redesign our subconscious mind with affirmations, but we look at the dark stuff in order to be able to hold it. What then happens is that this automatic chatter of the ego automatically starts to change. It's not just an automated inner critic. It's not just an automated stress response that is showing in your head as restlessness, as judgment, as stress, as impending doom that you feel towards the future. It's slowly starting to change. It's slowly starting to change. And the automated response, the automated dialogue that you have within you starts to become more positive. And then you can ask yourself, is this still the ego speaking? Or is this maybe a positive mental representation of yourself, a mirror of yourself, and first and foremost, of your body? So we're stabilizing the ego. We're not healing the ego for that matter. We're healing the relationship we have with it. So the parts that are embedded in this ego can feel safe. Because the ego is not just one thing. The ego is consisting of many different parts and energies within you that want to be met, that want to be held. What if what you call ego is actually a 7-year-old part of you or a 16-year-old part of you that is banging on the doors of your consciousness and it's causing you stress, but the stress is actually the fist that is banging, banging, banging against your door and just wants to be witnessed. There's a child within you that is constantly pulling on your cloth and you're like, why am I so tense? Why is my ego so strong? But you fail to look at the child that is standing there with teary eyes and just wants to be held and just wants to be met. This is how touching, integrating the ego can be. And of course, there's not only inner children, the ego can be quite harsh, it can be destructive and all of these things. But I believe, and again, I came to believe this more and more over the 10 years of my work, that opening up with an accepting stance, an accepting gaze upon all of these parts, the more we do that, the more these parts learn that they're safe. And this is the best medicine. This is the best medicine that I've found so far. So this topic is really, really close to my heart because I've been on this path for multiple years now, as you can tell, and the endless chatter in our heads. It's just, what else would be the solution? What else would be the solution? To judge the part that is judging even more? It sort of makes no sense. You need to have a foot in the door. You need to break this domino pattern of relentlessly falling dominoes at some point. And the thing that breaks this pattern is openness, acceptance, and love. And there is a part within you that is already embodying that openness, that is already opening its heart to everything else. And sometimes it's not about looking into the darkness more, dismantling all of the different ego patterns more. It's more about looking and finding out and building a relationship with a part that is open, that is warm, that is able to hold all of this. And this is the shadow of shadow work, thinking that we have to do more of the shadow work. We need to do more journaling and thinking hard about the problems shaking our body more and more and understanding what happened in the past so we can finally be free in the present moment. That's the useful one side of shadow work. But the other half of this, the shadow that the shadow work creates, is the light, is the acceptance. And in saying we need to kill our ego, we need to get rid of it, we're again pretending that we're here on the light side. We're pretending we want to get free and become transcendental and all-loving spiritual beings that have a human experience. And we forget that the shadow is here. And we act out the shadow without even knowing it because we're still denying a part of reality. And spirituality and trauma healing means becoming grounded and rooted in the reality of your experience. Not drifting away in manifesting law of attraction scenarios of a grandiose life that you someday will have if you just do the right affirmations. Or going into the shadows and getting lost in the past, which is not the present moment. No, it's about becoming aware of your experience. And you can only become aware of your experience if you're in touch with the one that is experiencing. My point is, even the part of you that thinks you have to transcend more, you have to meditate more, if only you meditate more, if only you do more affirmations or whatever spiritual practice you have, then I'm gonna be okay, is the shameful part speaking, because I believe you already are okay the way you are, and the only problem you have is not seeing that. And the ego is finding tricky ways in order to install and keep running the blueprint within you that you are inherently flawed and you need to do something about it. Stop doing anything. Get in touch with your inner world. I have multiple videos on this channel about somatic shadow work and emotional release. And subscribe to the channel. Watch the videos. And you will soon see that there is a way. There is a part within you that is already whole and that is able to transcend and include all of the suffering within you. And that also includes the ego. And that also includes the part that is judging the ego and the part that is judging that part, and so on and so forth. And you strip the layers of the onion until you become present, until you really dismantle all of the different layers of what you deem spirituality, and in reality is your ego speaking. Watch the videos. I'll see you in the comment section and in the next video. Bye bye.